Everyone got mic.
Okay.
Something.
6 people in voice chat. It's pretty good.
Going good.
Lucio, Mercy. You have 2 healers. Good start. Genji is your DPS. He's a flanker. We have 2 tanks. Not the greatest, but tolerable. And then we have Mei. Mei can work in a lot of situations. It's a little loud for me. Oops. Let's see if I lower that a little bit. So Diva just said we have Genji, so he wants to switch to 76. And then he switched off back on to Diva. Okay, so first of all, your setup seems decent and possible. May switch to Samba, which can help a little bit, but having 2 flankers, I'm not too sure about. A 76 would have been a little bit better, but I guess everyone plays to their strengths. Okay, so overall, the accuracy, not bad. Um, on the stationary turret at the beginning could have been a little bit better, but that's not bad at all. Let's see. You're doing good at trying to keep your team alive. Your team has decent communication. I can't hear you. I'm not sure if you're communicating as well. I feel like you should try and utilize your boop function a little bit more as a Lucio. That's one of my favorite things to do, and boop doesn't always have to be used to get people off the map. As you can see, the enemy Lucio just tried to boop you off. And see, in this situation, yeah, okay, there. You did it a little bit late. It could have helped if you switched to speed a little bit earlier, so you guys could have all backed up and maybe got a better shot off on the Riptire. Okay, so both of your supports have ults, and that's pretty much it. What you could do here is you could speed boost and drop the beat. Okay, so you speed boosted before you got out with your team. Oh, you're a little late on that. It could have saved your Orisa, but that's fine. Let's see if you can clean up. Um, nice. Okay, so once everyone's topped up, yeah, you did good. You switched to speed. You didn't need to switch to healing here, as Mercy can self heal. She just regenerates over time, and there was no direct threat. That amp didn't seem to be needed at the time. You could have saved it for a little bit more of a needed situation. Um, that Orisa, I don't know about. That wasn't your fault. So in this case, you would yeah. Oh, okay. You started. Your boop was a little off place because the range on the boop isn't very long, and you should have tried to speed boost your team again out of the enemy soldier's ult and try to get everybody to safety with speed. So you used your ult. Mercy has res. Now she doesn't have res. You guys got the point. So you're doing okay. Your positioning is decent as you're around your team as Lucio should be. There you go. You're utilizing your boop a little bit more. See, in this case, I would say that wouldn't be needed. The only reason being is your spawn is like 3 seconds away from here, whereas the enemies is really far. Okay, let's see. Okay, so this time you don't use your speed boost as you get out, and you actually go back in. Okay, so a group up would be good here. which it seems like you guys are doing. There's three of you. Okay, good. Okay, you should try. Well, you were trying to focus on the tracer, but you should try and always focus on the most immediate target that seems the most dangerous to you and your team. Okay, so helping your Mercy is good, as nobody else is really helping your Mercy from this tracer flanking. Again, here you should try and speed boost, as you would have been able to get out of there, and you could have maybe saved your diva as well. Let's see. You're checking your scoreboard, which is pretty good. You should know what's going on and who has ults and whatnot. This trace is just causing way too much of a problem. Let's see. Good job trying to focus. I'm not quite sure that why that hit you there. I feel like you should be trying to communicate to your team to maybe try a flank, like go left side to get around them, to get high ground over something, because the past like three pushes you guys have pushed in to like right here, making it about 50 feet out of spawn and then being stuck. Seems like you guys are going around and you guys are getting out this time though. Let's see. Okay, so yeah, see, you tried to boop the Ryan. If you had booped him a little bit earlier, you could have probably got him on the other side of the bomb when he wasn't ready, and you may have been able to kill him. That that was just bad luck. I feel like you could have speed, but there was nothing you could really do there. Okay, so that speed boost isn't bad because both supports are out, and you were with both of them. Where you are one, you're bringing your Mercy back as well. Um, There you go. Okay, see, that one helps a lot, and then you're already in speed. And look at that, your team got rid of him. Utilizing your boop, I see to be one of the more important things for you to be doing at this point, because it doesn't seem that you often do use it. Ooh, that was a close call. Good job. Um, that stun didn't seem fair. I'm not exactly sure what. There's a tracer bomb plus the random Winston zaps that got you. Okay, so your team got that loss. Um, Other than communication, which I can't hear, so I'm not exactly sure, I feel like your team should group up and make solid pushes and switch strategies or switch pushes mid game instead of continuously doing the same like straightforward push, as that failed a few times and you guys got held back for a couple of minutes doing that. Okay, so your new comp, still Lucio. Um, you're looking to be a solo heal this time. Possible, but very difficult. If you could try and get somebody to switch, that would usually be great. You have Diva and Genji who seem to like those characters. Sim and Junk can be very strong, and Orisa if she stays. Let's see. Yeah, it looks like it's go back to Orisa. It would have been better if maybe you could have gotten another healer, but let's see how this goes. Your wall riding seems to be pretty good. I honestly feel like your wall riding's a little bit better than me in some places. But I feel like you should also utilize it a little bit more if possible to try and get different angles on people, as it helps greatly with throwing off other people's aim. But I guess that does also sometimes throw off your aim as well. Maybe go into the practice range and practice aiming while wall riding. As many times I see you wall riding and you're looking upwards, which seems to be like you're trying to focus on your wall ride. See, in a situation like this, um, I'm not exactly sure how often this succeeds, but it seems to be doing it. Um, Good job on looking for the tracer, but right now, yeah, okay. You you usually figure out what to do maybe about 5 6 seconds later than you should. It's not bad, but it's not great. You need to be switching to speed more as there you go again. As you navigate and walk around. And then switch to healing once you need to get in and save your team. Okay, you guys are getting pushed a little bit. You're shooting your own Orisa. You need to try and find a target and prioritize. That Ryan was out of position, and you guys should have tried to make a call and see if you can get him. Group up and take him out. And for this Lucio, you should be trying to boop him as it does. Yep, there you literally every time. As it does damage and it doesn't require as much aim on such a small character that jumps around a lot. Ooh, that was a good escape right there. See, again, you're good with the wall rides, you just need to utilize them a little bit more. Let's see. You should check your scoreboard here and see how good your team's doing. Uh, it seems that you may have called out there because I seen your name pop up, but I couldn't hear it, and like, doesn't look like much of your team is also here. Your Orisa got the kill though, so I guess that did work out for you. Okay, this seems to be working so far. See, that was good. You speed up, get into your teammate, and then heal up. That guy's making callouts for the tracer, so it's pretty good. You guys need to find her. When you find a teleporter like that, like the one that your teammates put down, you should try and stay away but not far from it. So that way it doesn't bring attention, but in this case, the sim did it herself, it looks like. Okay, Bastion's down. There you go. See, the speed to get out of there? The only problem is you didn't get any teammates with you. Let's see. Right now, you should be grouping up with your team. Speed boost out of there. As most of them were dead, you should have gotten out of there a little bit earlier. Because, yes, while Lucio can stall for a little while, it's always better to have your team. And it'll help get them back into the fight faster, as Lucio does have his speed boost. And now Bastion is going to be a slight problem to deal with. And here, when you directly challenge a Bastion, you shouldn't be out in the open like that. You should try and find cover and take some pot shots at him. As you weren't able to really save your team too much there. See, right here, you could boop the Rhine away from your team, which helps keep them alive a little bit longer. Um, Positioning, you could have been a little bit safer instead of hopping directly into the Reinhardt that was swinging at your whole team. You could have stayed back a little bit farther and tried to get him out. Let's see. Again, you should try and boop the Rhine and get him off the point, maybe end overtime sort of thing. See, like, even while you're above the point or like standing on top of it, if you were to boop, it would get them as they're all fairly close proximity. So none of your team has ults at this time. Let's see. Well, Your Junkrat's still on it somehow. See, at this point, you're just trying to get the stall, but I doubt that it's gonna happen. You should try and stay closer to the side that has your team on it, even while stalling, so that way the enemy can't hide behind the payload. So this diva seems to have the right idea as she was grouping up. Um, let's see. Oh, your Genji went the other way, so he didn't really get the benefits of that. That guy is saying that he needs the healer, even though Lucio's solo healer. So at this point, you should just speed boost your team because you won't be able to DPS them out. Let's see. So here, it would have been a good time for you. Yeah, see, to utilize your boop and get them over the payload, so that way the Diva Bomb could have maybe hit them as well. Again, I feel like that's one of your main things. As someone who plays Lucio, you need to utilize your boop a lot more as it's very rarely used. Oh, seems to have frozen a little bit there. There we go. Quality went down. Let's see if I can get it back up real quick. It's not too great. I don't know what's happening. Um, let's see what happens. So again, positioning. And right there, if you booped, you could have probably saved yourself from a bit of damage. Uh, that was pretty close. I feel like the biggest thing for you is definitely work on your boops and work on utilizing your wall rides in fights. Other than that, your positioning was decent as you like to stay with your team. I'm not sure what your communication was, and I really wish I could have heard that the entire time. But overall, you were a decent Lucio player. You had the fundamentals of Lucio, but you just were not utilizing your boop nearly as much as you needed to. And look at that, the heals. Boom. um, your team was communicating, but it didn't seem like they were doing enough. But that's not your fault as well. And I couldn't hear you, so sorry about that.